You wake up tired, spend the day on edge with your mind full of thoughts that won't stop. You tell yourself, it's just stress. It's just the routine. But what if I told you that your body and mind are giving signs of something much deeper and more dangerous? Your body is screaming, and you are ignoring the true silent signs of chronic anxiety. Anxiety isn't just a racing heart before a presentation. Most of the time it disguises itself. It hides in your constant irritability, in your paralysis by procrastination, and even in those physical pains that no doctor can explain. And that's where the danger lies, because these signs are silent, they erode your quality of life without you noticing. In this video I will crack the anxiety code. I will present the 5 most common silent signals that most channels ignore, and that I see every day. But most importantly, for each signal I will give you an immediate and practical relief technique you can start using now. Pay close attention. The 5th signal is the most treacherous and it is stealing your health. Stay with me to find out how to silence anxiety once and for all. The 5 silent signals. Signal 1. Excessive irritability, zero patience. The wrong belief. The first silent signal is zero patience. You find yourself yelling at your partner over a dirty dish, or getting furious in traffic over an unnecessary honk. And you justify it, I just have a short fuse. But the truth is, this is a clear symptom of a nervous system exhausted by anxiety. It's not a character flaw, it's a symptom. The scientific explanation, why it happens: think of your brain as a battery. Anxiety is a constant state of alert. Your body spends energy predicting dangers, real or imaginary. When this mental battery runs out, the part of the brain responsible for self-control, prefrontal cortex, is the first to fail. The result? You're always reactive. The smallest provocation throws you into the red zone. Irritability is not a character flaw, it's anxious exhaustion. Detailed examples. Silent irritability appears in small things. A phone notification that makes you angry, the supermarket line that makes you huff loudly, the desire to isolate yourself from everyone because you can't stand interactions anymore. If your reaction is always disproportionate to the event, anxiety is manifesting. Immediate relief solution. The 5-second rule plus grounding, practical and detailed. Acknowledge and stop. The moment you feel the wave of anger rising, stop everything. Say to yourself, this is my anxiety alarm. Focus on breathing. 5 seconds, inhale deeply counting to 4, hold your breath for 1, and exhale counting to 6. Do this at least 3 times. This is the 4-1-6 breath, a powerful tool. Ground yourself. Look around the environment and name 5 objects around you. This forces your brain to leave the reactive mode, fight or flight, and return to the present. Signal 2. The mind that won't shut down, rumination, insomnia. The wrong belief. You lie in bed, put your head on the pillow, and suddenly your mind turns into a radio on maximum volume. It's the replay of that conversation from 3 years ago, or the detailed planning of the week that hasn't even started. You think it's too much thinking. The real name is anxious rumination, and it is the silent killer of your sleep. The scientific explanation, why it happens: anxiety is a threat prediction machine. The anxious brain tries to solve problems at night because in the dark it feels unprotected. Rumination is the brain trying to convince us that, if we think enough, we can control the future or fix the past. The problem is that, instead of solving, it only produces more cortisol and adrenaline, the alert substances. Detailed examples. Silent rumination is your mind revisiting embarrassing mistakes, preparing arguments for future fights, or calculating catastrophic scenarios that have a 0.001% chance of happening. If it takes you more than 30 minutes to fall asleep and your mind feels like an endless spreadsheet, that is the signal. This is one of the main symptoms of nighttime anxiety. Immediate relief solution. The worry journal, practical and detailed. Reserve a worry time. 1 hour before bed, not in bed. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes. The discharge. Grab a notebook and write down everything that is on your mind. The problem, what worries you about it, and what you can do tomorrow. Don't spare any words. The closure. When you finish, close the notebook and say aloud, I don't need to think about this anymore today. That is tomorrow's problem. This is a psychological command that transfers responsibility from your mind to the paper. Sleep hygiene. Keep your cell phone away from the bed. Use the bed only for sleeping and intimacy. Do not watch TV or work in bed. Signal 3. Unexplained physical pains, the body scream. The wrong belief. You go to the doctor, get tests done, and he says, it's nothing, your exams are perfect. But you still have tension headaches, a locked shoulder, or that nervous heartburn that won't go away. You think you have a rare disease. What you have is your body somatizing anxiety. The scientific explanation, why it happens in a state of alert anxiety, your body prepares to fight or flee. For this, the muscles contract. If this alert is constant, your muscles become chronically tense. Anxiety settles in the cervical spine, the lower back and the stomach, the famous second brain. These are psychosomatic pains, the body screaming for a rest that the mind does not allow. Detailed examples. The silent manifestations are muscle spasms, nocturnal bruxism, teeth grinding, a lump in the throat sensation, and especially irritable bowel syndrome (IBS), where stress deregulates digestion. If you live taking painkillers and antacids for a pain that has no apparent cause, it's time to look at your mental health. Immediate relief solution. The quick and progressive body scan, practical and detailed. Where is the tension? Sit or lie down. Close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself, where is anxiety residing in my body right now? Tense and release. Start with your feet. Contract your foot muscles forcefully for 5 seconds and relax. Feel the difference. The progressive unlocking. Move up to your legs, abdomen, hands, and arms. The main focus, neck and shoulders. Tense your shoulders up, as if to touch your ears for 5 seconds. Release all at once. Do this 3 times. The face. Tense all the muscles in your face, make a funny face, and relax. This cycle forces the release of chronic muscle tension. Signal 4. Extreme procrastination. The perfection block. The wrong belief. You have a to-do list, you know what you need to do, but you spend hours on Instagram or in front of the TV, unable to take the first step. You label yourself as lazy. But the truth is often, procrastination isn't laziness. It's an avoidance response caused by performance anxiety. The scientific explanation, why it happens. Anxious procrastination stems from the fear of judgment and perfectionism, anxiety's SOS. Your anxious mind says, if I start, I won't be able to do it perfectly. If I don't do it, no one can judge me for failing. The brain chooses paralysis as a form of protection against potential failure. Detailed examples. This appears as failing to reply to important emails, delaying crucial projects, or avoiding making calls to solve problems, even though you know inaction only makes things worse. If you spend more energy punishing yourself for not doing the task than actually doing it, this is your alarm signal. Immediate relief solution. The 10-minute rule in breaking the giant, practical and detailed. Divide the giant. Take the most daunting task and divide it into the smallest possible step, e.g., instead of write the report, change it to create the cover and table of contents. The 10-minute rule. Commit to working for only 10 minutes on that micro-task. You must tell yourself that you can stop after 10 minutes without guilt. The momentum. Most of the time, the biggest obstacle is the beginning. After 10 minutes, your brain is already engaged, and the initial anxiety drastically decreases, allowing you to continue. If you don't continue, that's fine, but you have broken the initial barrier. Remember, 10 minutes is better than 0 minutes. Signal 5. Health hypervigilance, excessive focus on illness. The wrong belief. You feel a pang in your chest and within 5 minutes you're on Google reading about heart attacks. You have a headache and are already thinking about a tumor. You describe yourself as very health conscious. Deep down, you are suffering from anxious hypochondria or health anxiety, the most difficult vicious cycle to break. The scientific explanation, why it happens. Anxiety needs a place to manifest, and it loves the body. Hypervigilance is the fear of losing control over the most important thing, your life. The anxious brain transforms any normal body signal, a burp, a cramp, a twitch, into a mortal threat. With every Google search, you get a peak of adrenaline, which fuels the anxiety. Detailed examples. The silent manifestations are constantly checking your pulse, taking unnecessary repetitive tests, consulting multiple doctors in search of a catastrophic diagnosis, and of course Dr. Google. If your health concern is persistent and disproportionate to the medical facts, you are stuck in this cycle. This is the great silent signal that destroys peace of mind. Immediate relief solution. The interruption rule and the anchor of reality, practical and detailed. Cut the cycle. Promise yourself, I will not search for symptoms. If you feel the need, use the 10-minute rule, signal 4, to distract yourself with something productive. The mental command. When the worry arises, ask yourself, do I have facts or just fears? Anxiety works with assumptions, reality with facts. The anchor of reality, single consultation. If the concern is too strong, book a single appointment with a trusted doctor and accept their diagnosis. If the doctor says everything is fine, the anxiety is not permitted to question it. It is an agreement you make with your mental health. This is called the reality check. Use evidence to disarm fear. Recapitulation and call to action, CTA. Recapitulation. The path to full mental health is not fighting anxiety, but listening to what it is trying to tell you. Remember our 5 silent signals. 0 patience, the mind that won't shut down, physical pains, procrastination, and health hypervigilance. You are not weak for having anxiety, and your mental health and wellness channel is your new ally in this journey. Here, the focus is on real tools and grounded knowledge so you can live a calmer, more productive, and happier life. Always remember, the first step is recognizing the sign. If you identified with even one of these signs, and if you are tired of merely surviving instead of living, I invite you to be part of our community. Subscribe to the channel now. Activate the bell so you don't miss any of our tools. Your mental health is a priority, and I am here to help you honor that priority.